Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going racing. You're watching the Vasco Speed Performance YouTube channel. So this is Tyler's 1974 Plymouth Duster, and he's got a Gen 5 Hemi in it, which is kind of cool, something that we've never really messed with. And so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be building a custom twin turbo kit for it. So stick around and we'll show you how we get this thing going. Okay, so one of the things Tyler wanted us to do was, on this cage, it like touches the glass right up in here. And it doesn't on the other side, and I guess these windshields are very, very hard to get for these cars. So what we're going to attempt to do, I'm not sure how well it's going to work, is we're going to attempt to cut the bottom of the cage from the 6x6 plate and then pull it down. So we have this strap here so we can pull it down, but the issue is if you go to pull on it, when you're cutting it, it'll smash the blade. So it's just taut right now, but we also went ahead and put up here some wedges on the top to wedge the cage between the roof of the car and the cage. So that'll help hold it. So we'll get it cut down here. After we get it cut, then we'll try to clean it all up and see if we can pull it down. This door bar, it might have to be remade. I'm not sure because it hits this pretty decent. So I just took this, I made this little piece here. It's just like a piece of bracket with a nut welded on it, and I welded something to give us a pulling point on it. So hopefully that works. So but yeah, so we'll get to cutting this and see how it turns out.
What do you think, Brad?
I think we're good. So we cut about an 1/8 inch out of the bottom of the tube. That pulled it down a little bit. We could come in here and we could cut a little bit more out of this, but honestly, it wouldn't even hurt it if you were to add a little bead of weld right there to just strengthen it up a little bit.
Right.
But we've got a little over an 1/8 inch between the glass and the bar now, so it's no longer touching the glass, which is the main objective. And if we go down too much further with this, then the door bar is no longer gonna be pushing on the handle for the door a little bit better. So I think we'll probably just weld it in place where it's at. So we got pretty good tension on it, pulling it down, so I think we should be good. So we'll come in here, clean all this up, clean around the tube, and then weld it around that as much as we can. So
Sweet.
should work. Okay, so I wanted to take a little time to show you the underside of the Duster. So this is a 1974 Duster, and I forget who you said the K-member was made by, but this is a really, really nice K-member. I mean, it's cool how the rack goes into the factory location. It comes with the control arms, the uppers and the lowers. They're adjustable. I mean, I'm really impressed with it. It's got these nice tow hooks in the corners. So really a cool K-member for an older car. I will ask him exactly who makes this, and I will put this in the video so you guys know. But so we're going to start on the twin turbo kit on this. So he has already mounted the intercooler. He's already got the engine in there. He's already cut off the ends of the exhaust manifold. So these are more close to like 3-inch. We're going to neck it down to a 2.5 inch. So he has these special V-bands here that are 3-inch on one side and 2.5 on the other. So we're going to use those up here. This is going to be the harder side because we have the alternator to deal with, and you don't want to get the alternator hot. So we might end up actually, depending on how much room we have, cutting it back a little bit so we can get that V-band right up close as possible so we have enough room to turn that 2.5 inch. So that's for that side. This side over here, a lot more room. I don't think will be near as bad, but the hot side's gonna come down underneath here and then come up, and the turbos will be about here on each side, and then the charge pipes will come down into here. So I'm gonna take these manifolds off and we're gonna clean them up, cut them down, and then start putting some V-bands on there, maybe just tack them and kind of see how everything works, and kind of go from there. Okay, so we've got the end cut off and I've got it cleaned up, so you can see the time lapse. So I went, if you look at it from this side, it's kind of like an oval down here. So what I went was I notched this out so that this 3-inch fits on there really, really well. So it's a little bit fat there, but I mean, I'll weld that on there. So I think this will work. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tack it, and then we'll bolt it back on the car and see how it looks. And if it looks like it's gonna work, then we'll go ahead and buzz it all in. Okay, so I stuck it up in there. I forgot to take video with it in there, but basically the V-band comes like so close to the frame rail that you can't get the V-band on and off. So what I'm thinking about doing is taking the V-band off and then putting a piece of 3-inch bend on it, and then putting the V-band on just for clearance. So I'm gonna cut these 2 tacks off real quick and we'll see how that looks. Okay, so this is the part of fabrication that a lot of people don't get to see, but so I went and tacked this on here and everything looks good, but if you'll notice, like, it's pretty close to this boot. So if we even tried to stick this on here, which is the tightest 2.5 inch that I can find, it's not gonna work. So you could cut it up, but then again, the V-band, you need room for the V-band. So that's like where it's at. And I mean, it looks pretty good, and I'm trying to keep it away from the alternator, because in the past, on my own personal car, I built a turbo kit and I had the exhaust running right next to the alternator, and it would fry the alternator all the time. So what I'm thinking about doing is flipping the manifolds back the other direction and then just having the piping come forward, and that should give me enough room. So I'm gonna flip this manifold from side to side, put them backwards like the way they should go, and then I'll see how everything looks. Okay, so a little update on the Duster. So we have the charge pipe welded. It's already been bead rolled. I need to weld the blow-off valve on. I need to weld a NPT fitting in it for the IAT sensor. We have the turbos mounted. We went ahead and installed this bar. The reason being, we didn't want to install the bar before we moved the cage down. So we moved the cage down so it wouldn't hit the windshield. Then we put this bar in there. I wasn't going to put the bar in, but the engine is actually offset. So you can see how close it is over here versus over here, which is normal. They do that because of your steering shaft. So since the engine's actually offset, it messes with everything, because your eyes, you want to look at everything symmetrical. And so if you look at this, if you're in the center, the engine's off to the left. So therefore, this is only about 3 fingers, where over here, we're miles away. Part of that is the scroll and the compressor's, thicker over here than it is here. And the other part is that the engine's offset. So I wanted something to give me a guidance. So with this bar going to be here, the downpipe's going to travel, and I wanted these to be at the exact same line of travel as this bar. So we went ahead and put this bar in the same spot so that we can get the same amount of distance between each side. So it's pretty close. It's never going to be 100% perfect, but it's pretty darn close. We also spent a little bit of time trying to make sure that the turbos were at the correct height. We did that with a laser, shot it at the nut for the impeller, and they seem to be on the same spot. So I think the turbos are good. No, these are not going to go through the hood. I just stuck these on there because I'm waiting on the aluminum to show up for the downpipes. A lot of people have said, oh, you can't use aluminum for downpipes. Well, or exhaust. You can. Out of the turbo, though, in my experience, this is 16 gauge, so this is what I use for like charge pipe. This is too thin. It'll start distorting. The bend will start, getting hot. So what I like to do is I usually run an 11 gauge, which is a lot thicker metal. So I ordered some 3.5 inch 11 gauge. It's not here yet. It's not something they normally stock. So we're waiting on that to show up. But the exhaust will go down and run along the side of the car. It'll have some mufflers on it, and then it'll have like some exhaust come out the side on each side. So that's kind of where we're at. I've got the hot side tacked together, and it runs up to the flanges up here, so we can weld those up. We're waiting on the motion race work wastegate flanges to show up. Then we can put the wastegate. So we're going to put one here. We'll put one down there somewhere. But everything seems to be tight, but it's starting to make good progress. So I got the hot side off, and I'm going to work on getting this all welded up, and then we will throw it back on and see how it fits. Okay, so a little update on this side. We ended up putting the 3-inch V-band with the 2.5-inch reducer on this side and just getting it really short and tucking it up as high as possible. There's still a decent amount of room between here, but you'll probably still have to put some sort of a coating or header wrap or something on that to help prevent it. But that's how this side goes, and then it goes straight up to the turbo. So pretty simple. Okay, so I figured I'd do a little walk around on how the turbo kit turned out. So this side comes up through here, runs up to the turbo, pretty simple. You have your wastegate here. Charge pipe comes into the intercooler and goes up into the intake. Same thing with this side. Comes up, goes to the turbo. Wastegate comes out here. Short little charge pipe. Should do the trick. And then it's got 3.5-inch aluminum downpipes that run out and down the side. Same on each side, so. Okay, so we made it out here to Flying H drag strip. It's just outside of Kansas City, so we're gonna do the Wyco no prep race. So we're about ready to start teching in cars. So we'll go over, supposedly Joey's here with the beater bomb, and some of our other friends are here, so it'll be cool to catch up with everybody and see everybody for the first race of the year. So let's get after it.
You play with fire, get burned, you'll get burned. It hurts so good going down like a whiskey shot.
Alright, running H tune up minus 10 degrees. We got 10 degrees out on the side.
Okay, so we're out here at Wyco Race. This is Chris Lewis, and this is his 2010 Camaro SS. So when you bought this car, it was originally a 6-speed automatic, right? Yeah. And rebuilt it several times. Kind of went through that. Now it's got a 480E in it, first manual valve body and a transmit, right? Okay. So we did the transmission install at the shop. Also, it's got rear suspension done to it, doesn't it? We just put a set of new front drain shocks on it, right? So yeah, it's got those. But it's also got a what Pro Charger?
F1A 94 Pro Charger.
F1A 94 Pro Charger. So, what class are you racing in today? 650. 650. So we're gonna be rooting for you, buddy.
Okay, go faster.
Yeah, you'll get it. Okay, so we're out here at the Wyco race. I made it past first round. It wasn't really a great start. We didn't take the cruise. Most of the cars were street cars, so they didn't make us take the cruise. The issue with that is the trans likes to be hot, and the bump is set when the tran's hot. Since I didn't take the cruise, my fault. I didn't get the car bumped in as the way it should, so I ended up just pressing the trans brake button. Not the right way to do it, but I was just trying to get the race off. I ended up winning. I went to go to second round. The weather is starting to get kind of crappy. Multiple cars have already crashed. It's pretty slick out there, and now it's like starting to rain. So we went ahead and loaded up, and we're gonna head home. Well, that's gonna do it for this episode. So make sure you like, comment, and
Goodbye.
subscribe. Oh, he'll get it next time. So thanks again, and stick around for the next one. There it is. So now,
follows you?
Yeah. So now when I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go over here, you're supposed to follow me. Oh wait, maybe I did this. Okay. Okay. Now you can follow me. Turn your head like a moose. Stop following me. Follow him. Okay. You just go. Stop. I said stop.